Hi, I'm Priyanka.
Hey, I'm Tina. And we're
Between Two Skeins.
We're a Five for Friends pod.
Of our dreams. We said your dreams, but maybe they'll be your dreams too. They're our dreams for sure.
Yes.
We've been wanting to do this for a while.
Yeah.
So
Welcome to our face.
Okay. Oh, jeez.
You're back.
Okay. Whew. There's some moments of freezing, so.
it is. There is. Okay.
Okay. Welcome, everyone.
Welcome everyone. And welcome Tina.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you for being here with me. And first of all, Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
And also, first of all, alongside that, happy birthday!
Thank you.
It was your birthday.
Yes.
How was it?
Amazing.
What'd you do?
I did everything I wanted to do in New York.
Tell me, start at the top of the day. I just have
Okay.
to. You woke
Let's
up,
do.
you were like, I'm an unmentioned here age. Okay? You thought, right?
Yes. Oh my God. I have to think back. Wednesday. So when it was Wednesday, my birthday was January 18th.
Okay.
What did I do? Okay, got up. I went to go to see my friend from college, Ilea, and her new baby, Marcellus. I think he's 3 months old.
Wow.
So I started morning with some baby kisses and some baby time. Then I haven't seen Ilea in years.
Okay.
Well, one pandemic, and then just life. I moved out of New York almost 7 years ago.
Yeah, it's been a while.
2016. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah.
So yeah, just kind of getting back into the swing of connecting with people again. So then we went into the city. We got ramen,
Yes.
of course.
You have to get around.
Yes, we went to a place in Midtown called Tanshin.
Mm-hmm.
It was good. I had my first birthday drink.
Is that Korean food? That's Korean food?
Ramen? Japanese.
What's it called?
Ramen.
No,
Oh,
no.
the restaurant?
I don't know what ramen is.
I'm like, what? Yes, you do.
No. What was it called again?
Tan-
I'm sorry. The Korean.
Tanshin?
Okay.
Tonchin.
Okay.
The restaurant name.
And you got ramen. You got ramen.
I got ramen,
and
I got my first birthday drink.
What'd you get?
It was a cocktail with, I think it was rum or gin, and something with grapefruits, because I love grapefruit. And they gave you half a slice of orange, and they made you like squeeze the orange juice into it. It was delicious.
Okay.
So that was my first birthday drink of the day. AKA I had more drinks later.
Okay.
What else? Then crap, where did we go? Oh, we went to walk the High Line Park.
Oh, that was our date.
I know. So the whole
Remember?
entire the whole entire time I was like, oh, I was here with Priya. Oh, we saw this. Oh, we walked down this path.
Yeah.
Oh, we went there to do the thing.
I know. When you posted pictures of it, I was like, we did these. We went to Brooklyn Bridge Park.
Yep.
We went to the High Line.
Just doing a second date with some other
This
person.
Random guy. That
Yeah.
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 Who lives in your house.
Exactly. Who I'm legally attached to for the rest of my life.
Yeah. You did it right with me, and then you just wanted to do it again with him.
Exactly. Or he wanted to do it, really, but he wanted to see the vessel.
Ooh. Oh, the Hudson Yards one?
Yeah.
They didn't let us in when I went.
Apparently it's been closed down for some reasons.
What's the
That
point?
I don't know until they put up some nets. Apparently, it's bad.
Okay.
In terms of that situation. What else? Then we
for dinner.
Before we went to dinner, we went to a seafood place in Brooklyn. But before we went to Brooklyn, we actually went to the place where we had our first date.
Okay.
Date.
Where was that? Oh, that was an Indian restaurant, wasn't it?
Well, the official first date was at an Indian restaurant.
Oh.
The not so official first date was at a bar. So we went to a bar and got my second drink of the day, which was a spiked hot cider.
Nice.
Then what else? Then we went to Brooklyn.
Brooklyn?
No. Shit. No, then we went to You and Me bookstore in Chinatown.
Okay.
Which is owned by Asian Americans. And I got another book there. Then we went to
reading. What'd you get?
That's a great question. I think it's called Letters to Home by Janet Wu.
Okay.
And it's a memoir about American-born Chinese, which I am. So I'm trying to look for, like, I guess, commentary or something more closer that I can resonate with.
Yeah.
Growing up, I read mostly fantasy books because it's something that I didn't have to relate to kind of enjoy, I guess.
Me too.
Manga, obviously.
Yeah.
So fantasy was a huge thing back then. Now I'm kind of looking for more like autobiography type books.
Yeah.
Because I kind of want to read other people's experiences.
Yeah. I think I was the same way too. I did the same thing. I would read for like escapism as a child. And then now I'm trying to read to understand myself.
Mm-hmm.
Or learn something.
Yeah. That's exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah. Man, we getting old.
I know. I did turn 33.
That's like,
which is okay.
That's one of the like symmetrical ages to be 33. I feel like it's like a very powerful number. Also. Yeah, you're gonna like.
I feel like it is.
Come into your power now.
Yeah. It's like the 21 of your 20s, you know, when you reach 21, you're like, I can drink now. And at 33, I'm like, maybe I finally figured out life.
You crack the code.
Maybe. I hope.
At 33.
Yeah. And then I'll crack another code at 40, whatever. And then another code at 50 something.
I think you're right. 30 is like, it's so weird. You don't like feel it happening. Or maybe we didn't because it was like during COVID, right? Like that was the period of time. Like I was thinking about it when I got sick. I was like, I haven't been sick since I turned 30. Like the last time I was sick, I was in my 20s. And I don't know if like my body changed in its ability to handle like, which it probably did. Mm-hmm. But like I haven't noticed it because it happened over COVID and we were trying to be like so secluded and not do anything. And so what being 30 is like, and now I'm finally like learning it. But it's also funny because I was like hanging out with some people who are in their late 20s now. Mm-hmm. All these like big, by the time I'm 30 plans, and I was like, good luck with that.
I think by the time we were 30, we're like, we're just trying to not die during the pandemic.
We're just trying to survive this insane.
And make sure we didn't get anyone else sick in the meantime. It was a lot. It was a lot of collective stuff. Keeping each other healthy stuff.
All right, I interrupted your birthday talk.
Oh, no. So we went to Brooklyn. My favorite place in the world is Brooklyn Bridge Park.
Yeah.
So, which was the second half of our date as well.
It was. We were at Grandma's gardens there, or Granny's
Yeah.
garden, Granny's Medley's, Grandma's
Medley.
one of those there.
It's why I still need you to name my patterns.
Granny's garden.
Granny's garden
Grandma.
is probably going to be a name of another pattern of mine, just because it just kind of
so
works.
Popular now. Yeah.
It just works.
It just works.
It's funny
anyway
because everyone will hear first here that are going to be listening to this is I'm going to be doing a like textured version of Grandma's Medley as a I don't know if I'm going to do it as a cardigan yet or a pullover, but I want to do something like that but with texture, like kind of patchwork but with texture, kind of like no, you're here.
I have the Instagram time limit and it booted me out of here and I was like, stop it!
What?
I'm here legally today.
Oh jeez.
So you're this is amazing news, by the way.
Yes. So maybe I think that's gonna be Granny's garden.
I'm very excited for it.
Yes.
I
think it's gonna be a cardigan.
Cardigan?
I think so. I think so.
On the subject of sweaters, which we will get to if you're still doing birthday, because I do want to hear every single detail. Like
let me finish up birthday because
Okay.
it finishes up pretty quickly. So we went to Brooklyn Bridge Park. We did all the walking around, just enjoying being in like looking at the city, and then we went to get seafood. Spoiled myself rotten there, and that was it. Really.
Well, you didn't do pizza. You didn't do Grimaldi's like we did.
No, we didn't do pizza. We did not do pizza. So
that was class.
It was good.
It was very good.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you want to do it?
Sweaters?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I was just too excited to see your double gourd. That's what it was. I just wanted to show everybody.
Yay!
That's what you're wearing? Your Lunar New Year sweater. Pop that booty.
Double gourd sweater. What do you think?
I said pop that booty.
Yep. Pop that booty.
Pop that booty.
It's funny because I'm just sitting on one of these like kid chairs.
Oh my god, I love it.
With
I love it.
These are the little stools that we sat on as kids.
That's amazing.
It's just so much better for my back. Anyway, getting old.
Aging. Yeah. Do you want to see mine?
Yeah.
Real quick?
Yes.
I'm going to force y'all to look at it anyway. It's my Wavelength Sweater.
Yay!
Because it's snowing in Detroit. I woke up this morning and looked out the window, and I can show you guys real quick. It is calming down right now.
Wow.
Is it snowing in New York?
Nope.
No? You
just cloudy right now.
Oh,
Steph is wearing their double gourd sweater today too. Yay!
Yay!
Steph was one of my test knitters for the double gourd.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have to look it up. I have to know what colors they were. Because I tried to test knit your double gourd. Do you remember? And then my gauge was so wildly off that it ended up being like 6 sizes bigger somehow. I don't know how. I think I had the wrong yarn. Too.
I think it was a thicker DK.
It was a much thicker DK.
Yeah.
Really more of like a worsted, maybe even than it is a DK. But anyway, I still have to make one. We have too many things in our queue.
Oh my god, there's so many.
I want to make too many things. That's the problem.
Yeah, it's okay. We have many days, maybe.
I saw a book that I wanted to add to my list, my reading list, and it was called like a time management book, like how to be better at managing your time. And the title of the book was 4,000 Weeks, because apparently that's like on average how long we live. And I was like, I never thought about it in terms of weeks, and now it feels very limited. Like 4,000 weeks doesn't sound like very much when there's 52 in a year. Like
breaking it down like that seems so small.
I know.
Jesus. Okay, well, let's get going.
We gotta hurry up and finish some sweaters.
No.
ASAP.
We need to also slow down too and
I agree.
focus on intention of why we're making stuff. It's hard. It's hard. It's like, oh my God, that's a cool thing. But then realize I can only knit as fast as my hands can knit.
And then I get tired. My wrist starts to hurt.
Yeah.
Whole thing.
Then you switch to crochet. And
then you come back.
Switch to weaving.
Then I switch to spinning, and then I come back.
Yeah.
Endless.
That's what I do too. Yeah.
I can't wait for you to come home so I can celebrate your birthday with you, because you ran off this time.
It
Tell
just
us
so
all
happened.
about all your favorite things there.
Just so happens that it was around Lunar New Year, and
That's true.
I was like,
perfect.
Yeah.
The timing was too good.
Yeah.
There's no way to not do it. I was like, that's my move. I run off to New York for my birthday.
That's true.
Why are you doing this? We can celebrate one of our birthdays together.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We need to plan that.
We do.
Probably, somehow.
You're going to plan a Super Bowl party with me anyway.
Oh, that's true. Yes. That's going to be fun. I can get pretty intense with party planning.
You're going to have to, because I'm flying back from New York that afternoon.
Are you serious?
Yeah, and we still want to host it. It's still happening.
Okay. So basically, I get to your house the morning of.
Yeah, so every time that you have come over here and I've been late has been practice for this party.
Because now I know how to get in now.
Yeah. That was what I was setting you up very slowly for this.
Yeah.
I was like, join this Asian Sewist collective pod at my house before me real quick. Join this other thing that we're doing at my house real quick. And now it's like, I'm throwing a Super Bowl party. Come help me with it real quick.
Just really quick.
Yeah.
Oh. That's going to be fun.
Of the pod, the Asian Sewist pod. Sorry, I keep interrupting you. I feel so
bad.
No. I'm just excited, and I hope everybody's nervous. No, the other way around. I'm just nervous, and I hope everybody else is excited.
It's our first episode.
It's our first episode.
Yeah.
Okay. Breathe. But, what is the name of the red and yellow sweater? It's
the double Gourd sweater. Mine is knit in Kim yarn dyes. And if you're looking for the pattern, it is on my website. Link in my bio.
Yeah. It's a gorgeous sweater. I love the V-neck so much. Yes. It's perfect. It's like, it reminds you of the Chipao.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. You could add a little button here and people like that for a keyhole type thing. I just don't like things too close to my neck, so I kind of made this as an option. The one I knit for Michael actually is closed up here.
Wow.
Yeah.
I like the color combo on that one too, the gold and black.
Yes. He picked those colors. So
smart. Yeah.
I'll give him props.
Give him credit.
Yes.
For once.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wanted to, speaking of pods and our pod and the Asian Sewist Collective pod, shout them out because they started us off and they have a new episode out too, right? Which I've been dying to listen to. So after this, that's what I'll be doing. And they have these cute little tags. I was supposed to, I wanted to do this, but clearly not well because I didn't have the tags with me to show you guys. But they have these really cute garment tags that you can sew on to your finished objects, which is like universal, right? Like we could use that too. And they're so adorable. So
yeah, check them out on Instagram where you probably can link through their labels, sewing labels for anyone out there who sew or just really anything you make.
Yeah, crochet, knit, whatever.
Yeah.
It needs a tag because otherwise you'll do what I do, which is I just leave some loose ends in the back. And like that the part that's
a good hack, by the way.
Yeah, that's a hack for you guys. Yes. Just don't weave in the ends in the back so you know that it's the back.
That episode was really fun to record, though.
It was.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. They were fun to hang out with.
Yeah.
Do it again. Maybe.
Good energy.
We'll invite them to ours.
Yeah. That would be fun. Once we get it all figured out.
I know. All right. I got to ask you more questions since I'm interviewing you.
Yeah.
Do you want to teach my ignorant self a little bit about Lunar New Year and how you celebrate it?
Sure.
Because you give me an envelope every year.
Mm-hmm.
And you told me I don't give you one, right?
Correct.
Which sounds not like it sounds unfair.
Well,
okay.
To explain that a little further, actually, I might have made a mistake by giving you an envelope because it's actually supposed to be 2 envelopes. Because people who give out envelopes have already been either married or let's just say are married. So if there are still, the reason why I say this is because when my grandfather passed away, my grandmother was still here. She started giving only 1. And I wasn't understanding really, like, even though it was like the same amount, but except just 1 envelope. I didn't understand why, like, suddenly she switched. And so then later on, I found out, oh, if you're like a couple, you're supposed to give 2 because it represents 1 of each person. And yeah, it was just, I was like, oh.
I didn't know that.
Did not know that either. So I actually should be giving you 2. So that's what you'll be getting this year.
I didn't realize I was going to get double money.
Exactly. That's what you're supposed to. So anyone who isn't married or a child, well, let me rephrase that. So, of course, in cultures of like Asianness,
East Asian cultures.
Yes, I guess.
Those guys.
It could apply to maybe all Asian cultures, probably. But if you're not married, you're not considered an adult. Yes. I think as most Asian cultures have that kind of general, thing. So when you get married, you become an adult. So that's why then you start getting red envelopes. Until you're married, you continue collecting red envelopes. So you could be like 40, not married, and still collect envelopes. Isn't that amazing?
It's amazing. Yeah. I don't know why any Asian person ever gets married. Yeah. Actually, that was one of the things I was most disappointed about when I was going to get married. I was like, this is the last year I'll be collecting red envelopes. And that's just sad. But your brother is now cashing out. He's getting double from everyone else in the family, and he doesn't have to give anyone anything. Exactly.
So, yeah. But it's a good thing I don't have a lot of family in the United States because I only have to give red envelopes to 2 people, which is my niece and my brother. Ooh. And because all my extended family aren't here, I don't have to give it to every single child I'll be seeing. Usually during this holiday, you go to each and every single one of your family members' house. Yeah. You do all the greetings, you say Happy New Year, all the well wishes, best wishes, and then you give every single child that is in that household red envelopes. So I would be probably very broke. But the point of, at least from what I've understood, is the point of red envelope giving is it's good luck to give. So the more you give, the more luck you have for the rest of the year.
Receive, hopefully, right?
Well, receiving is always good too, for sure. But like, there is like a little untold like not secret, but like custom where kids keep count of which relative gives how much money. Ooh. So you kind of know who's the like cheap aunt or the
Oh my God. It's like it's the Halloween candy thing where you know which houses have the best.
Yes. It's exactly that.
Oh,
it's funny.
I love that that's universal. Like, where is the best deal?
Yes. So who do I need to like suck up to for the remainder of however many years?
Which aunt am I gonna inherit? Oh my god. So a younger person doesn't, like, you don't have to give anybody younger than you if you're not married. It's not like that. It's just only married people give everybody else, and then married people don't get any envelopes.
Correct.
Wow.
So I'll never receive red envelopes from anybody because I'm not planning on having children. So one of the only times when you're married to collect red envelopes is if you have kids.
Oh. Well, the cats count.
You know, that's funny because I think now that with there's like a lot more people having pets. So my grandmother in the past had just given my sister's dog Moon a red envelope every year. But they have to physically be here. I can't bring my cats.
They can send you envelopes for your cats.
I guess so.
Come on.
My parents don't like cats.
I don't know why.
So
they're great. I don't know why. Anybody,
I know, right? But they say that about dogs too, and they love Moon, so
they just need to get used to your cats. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like they gotta be chilling on your couch one day, and then Luna will roll up and just like do her thing.
Yes.
And they'll be like, "Oh my god, I'm a cat person now."
That's funny because that did happen actually. Luna just like came up and hung around with my dad when they visited before.
What?
I know. It's very cute.
When I went to feed your cats this weekend on Friday, Diana was like a little hissy missy. She hissed at Joe when we walked in the door. She was like, "Get out of here. Intruder alert." I was like,
she's just probably really mad someone hasn't been feeding her wet food.
Oh my god. She went ham on the wet food. She like plowed through the can, and then you scared the bejesus out of us. That was fun.
That was Michael. That was not me. That's all his fault.
Thanks a lot, Michael. There he goes.
Now he's exiting the room. I don't know if he heard anything.
The timing was great.
I know.
Talking about. Well, all right. Let's get back to Lunar New Year. Mm-hmm. So you prepare a feast all day, pretty much.
Yes. Okay. For my family, the most important day is actually New Year's Eve. Mm-hmm. We prepare this giant dinner. There is a specific amount of dishes that have to be at the table for good luck. Every single dish has a different meaning. I'll get into some of them that I can remember because I had to explain every single thing to Michael yesterday. So I have them kind of fresh in my head.
Perfect.
But we start at 7 a.m. My grandmother used to start earlier. She used to start at like 5 a.m. We had to prepare.
Why does it take so long? The dumplings?
It's just the dumplings, one of them. We make something similar to the sesame ball, but it's not the it's the same kind of dough, same kind of like with sesames in it, but it's in a different shape.
Okay.
And there's no the one I like doesn't have a filling in it, but it's like a dough ball, a dough thing.
I like dough ball. Sounds good.
And then the other dumpling we fry is also it's like a fried dumpling. It's a savory type. Mm-hmm. It's not like a soft dumpling. It's all oil fried. Then there's like shrimp chips that my mom has to make with all different types of colors. So it kind of like represents like rainbow and colorful, like bringing happiness and brightness into your home.
Okay.
What else? We have to set up all these oranges displays.
I love that.
Yeah, every
so
single
cute.
one. There's one of these plates in every single room of the house.
Ooh.
It's a phrase in Chinese called "dai gut dai lei." So, "dai gut" means I want to say tangerine or mandarin. I don't know the difference between the two, so it's one of the two.
Okay.
But
I think it's mandarins, right? That's why they're called mandarins.
I think so. I don't know. But this is the phrasing.
Okay.
Red envelope. Every single one of these plates gets a red envelope and 3 oranges. It's just all symbolism of Chinese characters that kind of represent like good luck and fortune and safety and all that kind of health, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So every room has one of these.
I love that.
Gosh, what else? We had to prepare flower arrangements. Flower also represents bringing in brightness and happiness and wealth into the house. I love doing floral arrangements, so helping wasn't a problem for me for that one. And then like all day, just helping my mom.
I hope you took pictures.
I have pictures, yes.
Arrangements. I want to see.
I need some time to put the reels together. There's so many. Happy New Year. There's like chicken like a whole chicken, several, sorry, not just one, several whole chickens that she had to make. Then there's something called Bison, which is praying to the heavens and praying to your ancestors.
Okay.
So that's a whole thing where you have to set up like a table setting, like say table placements, mm-hmm. where there is 3 little like cups, 3 little sets of chopsticks, okay. And you present them with food. So kind of like plates like this, and it's like an offering. Yeah. So that's a whole nother thing that you have to do.
Wow. We do that then, like, in Indian cultures, like Indian celebrations, mm-hmm. we offer the food first to like God, I guess. Yeah. And mm-hmm. then it's called prasad, which is like, it means it's now blessed by God and it's good mm-hmm. for you. Mm-hmm. And they'll put like, giant, have you seen laddus? Like, do you know what they are? They're like big round, like the sesame ball. Uh-huh. They're big dough balls that are just dough and sugar. Yeah. So they'll do that. They'll be like, oh, this is prasad. It's good for you. Eat it. Mm-hmm. Yes. Give me a heart attack. Good for me now that God has offered it to me. God has touched it. Oh. Anyway, sorry. It was so similar. I was
yeah. For sure. And like, then that table follows to the ancestor, I want to say shrine, but not really a shrine, but like a plaque. We have a ancestral plaque that we also pray to like ask the ancestors to protect us and to watch over us. And my grandmother used to do this, but now my mom has to take over, where you kind of like talk to them through the incense that kind of like in Mulan. Yeah.
Is it like in Mulan?
Oh yeah, it's kind of the basis for it is, of course you can't physically see the smoke talking to the ancestors, but it's basically that. Yeah. And then there's some papers my mom had to burn. It's like, God, I don't even know what it's called. It's like these papers that you burn that have like monies and good stuff that you burn to the ancestors, and they receive it as smoke.
They gotta have some afterlife coupons too.
Yes, things like that. Yes, that's exactly it. And then that's like already afternoon. Like, this isn't even for lunch. Like, for lunch we just ate like hot dog buns. Like, this whole day is just for dinner. And then for dinner, my mom prepared a bunch of braised, boiled mushrooms, fish, more chicken, lobster, just all the foods, and they all represent different things.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Very yummy. Continue. Sorry, my mouth is like, what?
Yeah. No. And that's the whole day. It's food. All day is food. And then the whole entire family gets together, and well, the whole family helps with preparing the food. Before it was more of a like matriarchs of the family that does all the preparation, but now everyone gets involved. Every single one. I don't think my mom and I were, well, my mom mostly was like, I don't know how your grandma did this, like by herself. My grandma just did it all by herself. And I was like, it's just different, you know? We can't just one person do all this. So like, and also we want to kind of teach each other how to do this stuff, or else it doesn't get passed on.
Yeah.
So we kind of all have to learn eventually.
Yeah.
And any member of the family can do it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Share the, not the burden, but share the work.
Yeah. It's supposed to be communal, right? It's time you're supposed to spend together anyway. And then you do some team bonding.
Yeah. Team bonding exercise.
Yeah.
Communicating.
It's a team bonding exercise.
Yeah.
It's like built-in team bonding exercise.
Yes, it kind of is. Because it's always like, you know, get the salt, get the soy sauce, get the oyster sauce, get whatever.
And then one person is like the crimper, right?
Yes. That's funny. But yeah, that's the big day. Today is kind of a little more relaxed, even though today is the actual New Year. But it's kind of like on New Year's Day, you're not really supposed to work. You're not really supposed to do much. Kind of just be with family.
All of this sounds wonderful. I mean, why just California? Every one of us should have this be a holiday.
Yeah. Yeah. I think a representative of a House of Representatives is trying to, like, she reintroduced the legislation again to make Lunar New Year a federal holiday.
It should be. Yeah. So many Americans celebrate it.
Yes.
You know, it's a part of their culture.
Yeah.
You should celebrate it.
Yeah.
Do the same thing with Diwali and like.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
All get holidays.
Exactly.
Why should we only do that 2 times a year? It should be built in that you have multiple occasions to keep going home. Your family. Capitalism, man. Everything. Man.
Yeah.
That sounds so fun. I'm glad you got to go home. But and then also do your birthday. See, that's the perk of having a birthday that's close to like
holidays.
A holiday. Yeah. So you get to kind of do both. You're like, well, you're already here for all this other stuff. Celebrate.
Yeah. Except for people who have birthdays like on a holiday. That kind of sucks. As I'm told. I don't really know.
That's true. Well, my birthday was always like right as like summer vacation starts, April 26th. And so like everybody would be like, we're on vacation. I was like, great, I guess me by myself.
Yeah. Usually people's excuses for the winter is my birthday's in the winter. So it's cold. People don't want to go out.
No, I want to go out. Let's go out. Yeah. When you come back, we're going out.
You got it.
We'll go to this bar we found near my house. It's cute. Yeah.
Like near your house, is it like walking distance?
Yes.
Oh.
Okay. I know. It's really close.
Done. So you could just stumble home. That's my favorite thing. That's why one of the things I miss about New York is you can kind of
roll home.
Yes.
You can do that. Yes.
But also be safe.
You could take the Q line for one stop.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's public transportation. Also love that.
Also love public. You must miss it. I mean, now that you're in New York, you can just hop on the subway and go anywhere.
Yeah.
You don't have to be like, is it snowing? Do I have to clean my car? Have they salted the roads?
Yep.
None of that. You
Do
just
I
go.
need to drive? Can I drink then? It's a lot of planning.
Yeah, you, especially out in the burbs.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Burbs. You're gonna move closer. Yeah. I can feel it. It's gonna
Eventually.
Happen. You're gonna move closer.
Maybe.
Well, what were we gonna talk about today? I forgot. No, I'm kidding. I know what we were gonna talk about. We were gonna talk about how Lunar New Year, like, how like your culture and celebrating your culture informs or maybe influences or inspires. Wow, that's beautiful how I did that.
Yeah.
Your design, your creativity, your what you make.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think for me personally, it has a huge impact. I think it's important for me to design something that I feel represents myself and my identity and not trying to represent the culture. Like, I'm not trying to speak for all Chinese Americans. Like, that's never my intention. But I think it's important for me to acknowledge my identity and what that means to me.
Yeah.
And being someone who likes to be creative and study fashion design and artsy stuff, knitting is just a way that I can express that. I've tried other like mediums before.
Yeah.
Sewing, wasn't that great at painting, not a great illustrator either. I did a lot of poetry and creative writing. Like in high school, I had some sad poetry.
Really? Some bars?
Yes.
I want to hear some of this.
Oh, I'll have to find it.
Because you're at home, you need to find it, and then let's do a recital, like a poetry reading.
Oh, do you have some too?
No.
Oh, that's not fair. Well, that's not fair. No.
I used to write a lot. I had like a poetry phase, but I wrote pretty much anything you can imagine under the sun, as you know.
Uh-huh.
But all of and I had notebooks, and I used to love to collect notebooks too. And I would fill them up and like have all this garbage, like an emo shit I was writing, about I never found love and whatever, as a 14-year-old. But but I left it, of course, in India, and then a lot of those books, along with like books I collected that I enjoyed reading as a child, because I also read a lot. We had termites eat through like that entire closet, and it's all gone.
No.
Or I would. So I'm not. I would love to embarrass myself on the internet with you, but I can't. I cannot.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, okay. I'll then, in honor of your lost poetry and teenage writing, I will read mine.
Please. I would love it so much.
That's so horrible.
I went back in 2018, and there was just like wall space, like they painted over it or whatever, like they fixed the damage, like where the books used to be, and like maybe half the bookshelf where obviously they hadn't gotten that far up, because it was like the lower shelves were all where they didn't look often, and like they would eat from like the wall into the books, and sometimes it was just like the spines would be left, that's how my dad described it to me. Anyway, they didn't notice, but by the time they caught it, like half the bookshelf was gone. Of course, the top half were like my mom's stuff, and all my shit was on the bottom, and it's gone.
Oh no, we're never gonna hear from teenage Pierre again. Jeez. Okay, well, that's okay. Well, you can live vicariously through emo teenage Tina phase.
I wanna hear it.
Yeah. We'll do that.
Yeah.
We'll do that. But anyway, it's funny enough that I did not express my cultural stuff back then as much, just because of, living in a majority white environment and assimilation and just kind of erasure of my culture throughout media and things like that, the good stuff. Didn't really I want to say, I mean, at one point I was even ashamed. So, I mean,
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I wasn't even from here, and I did all of that. I was like, Indians are the worst, blah blah blah. You know, was I like curry? Not me though. And it's like, it was very vindicating. And then I was like, this is stupid too. Like, I don't actually hate myself that much, or like others that much, or fine.
Yeah.
I just was uncomfortable growing up because I was told that, there's one way to be, and that's not the way I naturally am.
Oh.
And they were probably a representation then of like how I couldn't aspire or achieve that, like I would see myself in other Indians and be like, yeah, we need to get rid of that. Which is so stupid. So now as a slightly more mature person, I don't do that anymore. But I do. Yeah. But we learn and we grow, that's like ingrained. That's an internalized racism, even when it's your own culture.
Yes.
It could just be things like you think, the super simplified, like, sexism version of that is, I'm not like other girls. I'm not like the other girls. I'm a cool girl. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
In your group.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It was so weird too because I went to Chinese school, even when I moved to New Jersey, where it was most when I was in elementary school in New York, I was surrounded by other people who looked like me.
Yeah.
And also there was so much more diversity where I went to public school and elementary school, and like so much so that I was like surrounded by a lot of people who spoke Spanish. So like I was like, I want to speak Spanish. Like being surrounded by diversity and being like able to tap into the fact that there are other cultures out there that you could learn from. But then I moved to New Jersey, and being who I was, I felt like I had to adapt to other people. And I have regrets, but I also understand and give myself grace, knowing that that was my circumstance and that was how I had to survive and be able to get through it. Kind of like I was like, I'm not going anywhere. Like I'm not moving again. This is just my situation, and I kind of have to just live through it. Enters emo Tina, and this is my life. I don't want it, But I got over it kind of eventually.
I just want to give her a hug. I want to give your teenage self a hug. I'd probably give my teenage self I'd smack the pen out of her hand and be like, go outside. Or the book.
Yeah.
Go look at the sun, because in 15 years you will not see it for weeks at a time. Go now.
Yeah, I wish I could tell myself to just go play, do something for yourself. But
fun.
Yeah,
everyone else also embarrassing themselves.
I miss teenage Tina sometimes.
Yeah. So anyway, you were saying you wrote poetry.
Yes.
None of those things kind of resonated with you as much thing.
Yeah, and I felt like it's just something I couldn't really express. At the time, I wasn't really trying to express my identity, but getting older, it was a way I could express it, because I felt like I wasn't really good enough in English, and then I also wasn't good enough in Chinese, like with my phrases, wording, and my writing style. So I found other mediums that were more visual. I figured out as I was going through high school and college that I'm a more visual learner. So I realized that STEM related fields really weren't for me, and so got into fashion and knitwear, and that's where I express kind of my identity through that, whether it's being Chinese American or anything.
That's awesome. I love that you can knit and like design as you knit, because like obviously as a knitter I'm able to like follow the instructions, and I can't imagine coming up with them like every time I get like, and I've done so many like V-necks at this point, or like where you at least split in the front, right, for left, right. I've done that how many times? Thousands of times now, right? Easy. Well, maybe not thousands, but dozens of times at least. And I know what's supposed to happen. I know I'm going to split front and back. I know I'm going to, you know, decrease this way, then I'm going to decrease right leaning, or left leaning, right. I'm going to decrease leaning in those directions, and then I'll have shoulders, and then the back, and I'll be able to do it if we're doing a bottom up, or even like the other way around where you're like counting out your stitches and coming out from the top to like get to the yoke and separate sleeves. I still, when I get to those points myself, if I had to do it on my own without a pattern in front of me, what am I supposed to do? What happened? How does this go from this to a sweater? Like, I don't know. I can do the tube, obviously, like of the body or the sleeves. Fine. I get it. Nothing is happening there besides the texture or like whatever, right? And I can just keep going. But like, even if you told me like, okay, you're going to get up to this point, then you're going to start, you know, doing like a left leaning decrease or whatever. Let's say it's just a V-neck, right? I would not. I can't picture the answer in my head. There have been a few times where I've like, even reading a pattern, I remember I'd tell you like something and you would say, oh yeah, this is what you do. Like you just are able to see the answers so easily. I
don't know if it's just the way my head, like my brain works, or it's my fashion design background, like just clothing construction in general. I have no idea which one came first, you know? Yeah. Did I like fashion design, like clothing construction first, and that's why I went into fashion design, or like vice versa? Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. But like there are also things like we talk about, and I'm like, my brain cannot comprehend how that works. Like I think I understand spinning, but I feel like if I go and do it, it's gonna look like a bunch of slubs. Like like how even you spin, I feel like
not even. That's the secret. Once you ply, it like hides so many of your sins because they're two singles, and they just like.
What? You say that, but we'll see when I try.
You have seen my first spin. It literally looked like intestines, just like disgusting. It was awful. It's just as you do it, and there are people who find that beautiful too. That's what's magical about, you know, even knitting. I feel like even if you do it wrong, there's a way for that to be art. There are people who intentionally love to spin the way that you describe, like, you know, very chunky and uneven, and they love the texture that it creates when they're knitting. Like, that's like a perfectly valid art form. Out of it.
I do like a sense of organized chaos. I don't like things to be perfect. Like, I've been called unconventional knitter before by people who have seen me like either knit in person or in a video. Yeah. And honestly, I didn't have any formal training on hand knitting instructions. I learned everything from my grandmother. So I'm also ambidextrous, so I don't know if just the way things work in my mind just kind of flips or something.
How do I not know this about you? You're ambidextrous?
Yes. So I could write and do, like, there's certain things I do with my left hand and certain things I do with my right hand. Same with legs. Like, when I was doing, like, recess or whatever, I would kick with different feet, basketball, dribble, and stuff with different arms and hands. I could play pool with both my left and my right. It's, you know, fun stuff.
Oh my God.
But yeah, it's just like things kind of, people telling me that, and then like I'm teaching someone and I realizing that I might have been teaching people how to knit wrong this whole entire time. But I also don't believe that there's a right and wrong way to knit as long as you like achieve that stitch or achieve that thing.
I agree.
So to me, I don't really care about knitting correctly.
Yeah.
I'd rather just create the thing.
Yeah, so you remember the craft night you were supposed to attend, but you ran off to New York instead of coming to my party.
Yes.
Anyway, I tried to teach people how to crochet, and my friend Vama is left-handed, and I'm just like, I cannot understand what you are doing if you try to do it left-handed, and I can't tell you how to do it. I can't do it. It was so complicated for me. She managed to figure it out, though, to her credit.
Wow.
So that was all her, because I was not a good teacher in that moment. I was just like, I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't know what's happening.
Wow. I didn't even think about that.
And she was like, so do I hold my yarn in this hand? And I was like, what? No, you uld the hook in that hand. She's like, I'm left-handed. And I was like, I don't know where anything goes then after that. It's just,
jeez.
I can't do it.
I just realized, which hand do you hold your crochet hook in?
It's your right hand.
Okay, thank God. Okay.
And then the left hand holds the yarn.
Okay. Yeah.
I
okay.
taught you.
Yes.
We taught you, so I know that you did it.
Yes. Happy New Year, Rochelle.
Oh yeah.
Before I miss that.
New Year.
Yeah. So what were we talking about? Crap.
We were talking about knitting and how you enjoy knitting as a way to creatively put yourself out in the world.
Yes.
And how your culture influences it.
Yeah, I think just also like identity related, I guess.
Yeah.
Culturally, I am Chinese, but also I am American. So like, I hate using the East meets West type thing because it's so co-opted by now by fetishism.
It's a cliche also, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's true.
Yes.
In some cases.
Yes.
What are you gonna?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah. So kind of like, I like to use classic silhouettes and play with the canvas. So kind of like taking a blank piece of paper and putting crap all over it.
I agree. You do that very well. I think that you play with texture a lot, and it's very cool. Like I thought you did that with, like, you have a way of doing that in a way that's cohesive, but not like it's not replicating it, but it's part of, you can see, like, say a collection. Like in my mind, I would see like Sun and Solace tea and like Kittenish Tank and Gramma's Medley as part of like a capsule collection, right? They're not the same, but they're like, they're part of that story.
Yes.
Almost of like what you're trying to do in the sweaters, right?
Yep. That's exactly it.
Did I get something that you actually do? Is that like a secret thing you do and I saw it?
I think so, because I think you kind of nailed how I design. Okay. Or at least like how I think, because there are stitches that while you're doing it is so much fun, and I'm like, there's so many other ways that I could utilize this stitch that I'm enjoying knitting and put it in a different silhouette so that it kind of lets more people who might not like, let's say, a V-neck and prefers a cardigan to kind of play with that stitch too, but not make a thing that they don't want.
Yeah, Odds and Ends is in that collection, and even your moon, the shawl with the slit, that's in that one. Yes, that's part of that.
Yes,
collection.
Exactly.
The texture collection.
Exactly. So then Granny's Garden is gonna be part of that collection.
Yes. Oh my god.
Yes.
I wish that, see, if we had planned this better, you could just go like, bing, bing, bing. I found show them the pattern that we're talking about so people know.
That's true. It's like we should be on YouTube.
It's like we should be on YouTube.
Yeah.
Should we be on YouTube?
Because that's easier. There's a video, and then like during editing, you can put pictures up and names so people can find the stuff that we're talking about. What is that called? Show notes, right?
Yes.
For podcasters.
Yes. You are correct.
Oh man.
Your podcast. This is why everybody ends up there.
Yeah.
Just got it. Okay, well, we're gonna put this on our grids, right?
Yes.
So if people watch this later, or when people watch this later as well, let us know, as the influencers like to say, let us know in the comments if you let us know in the comments below.
Yeah.
If you would like this to be on YouTube, if you would enjoy it there, because we would enjoy doing this, I think.
Yeah.
And if that's like a popular, I know it is. There are a lot of knitter YouTube podcasters. I just didn't know if that was like a natural home for our chat, you know.
Right. We'll see. Maybe it evolves.
Let us know. Yeah. Want us to be on YouTube, or we were considering also just being like an audio podcast, the way Asian Sewist Collective pod is. I like that format too a lot because I listen to a lot of podcasts and I enjoy listening to them while doing other things. And I don't necessarily want to be like watching something.
I agree.
I felt that we talked enough about other things that we don't need a video, but maybe we talk often enough that we could
do both. But also like because we're knitting, like we knit as well, we want to show stuff, so like that's why video also works. I kind of just like both. I mean, why not?
Let's try it.
Because that's why a lot of podcasts now, they do a YouTube version of their episode so that people who want to watch can watch them chatting, and people who want to listen can
just listen. You don't have to. Yeah. Okay. You are convincing me now, even without the comments. Oh my god, my watch is not leaving me alone. She keeps trying to be in this podcast.
Yeah.
Go.
Hi, Siri.
Thanks for joining the pod. Okay. So, yeah, that was something we were considering, right? Is if we go to... And now, the moment I think everyone has been waiting for, and you and I have been waiting for, which is Bling Empire, New York.
Yes.
We need to talk about it.
Yes. So here's the thing. I did not know they were making a Bling Empire, New York. The only reason why I knew was because I follow Netflix of Golden on Instagram, and they kind of highlight a lot of Asian and Asian American content on their channel, on their streaming service. So I was like, wait, they're making New York one? I'm like, why? Like, is this becoming the Real Housewives of whatever? And I honestly didn't think that they were going to be very different, but they're very different. The two shows are so different.
They're so different. Unfortunately, I'm such a super fan that I knew because
super fan.
I have rewatched it too many times to be a casual fan. So I have to own up to it.
Okay.
It just satisfies my inner material girl so much. Just to watch like the insane bad shit that they buy sometimes that's so expensive.
Yes.
And I'm like, but you're so rich. Why don't you have good taste?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Well, I'm gonna put up like a quick spoiler alert. If you are going to watch it and you don't want us to spoil anything for you,
yes,
please.
Well, I've
feel
only
free.
watched 3 episodes, and then I passed.
Me too. Me too.
Okay,
That's so funny.
Perfect.
That's perfect.
Perfect.
Yes.
So,
So
if
if
you
you don't
watched the first 3 episodes,
yes.
stop listening now.
Yes. Sorry, because we have to talk about this.
Yeah. So they in the outro for season 3 of like the regular Bling Empire. Hi, Michael.
It's mahjong time, by the way.
Oh, it's
start
wonton
playing
time?
mahjong. Yeah,
Oh, mahjong
gonna
time.
start. Yeah,
I said wonton time. Like such a Dorothy. I said wonton time. Anyway.
Anyway.
Yeah. No, so in the outro for season 3, Anna from the LA Bling Empire, she's like, I'm so sick of Los Angeles. It's so fake. I love the vibe of New York. I'm going to New York. And so that's how you know they announced that they're going they're doing a Bling Empire in New York. So I kind of expected her to be like the gateway into the New York scene or something because of that. And then she wasn't in it at all, basically, right? To this point. And I was like, what? That was such a misleading
Yeah. I
to,
didn't think about that, actually. That makes a lot of sense, actually.
So, like she was having like her big feud with Christine, which you know about from like the original. Spoilers for the original Bling Empire in its entirety, okay? Because at this point, it's like the Titanic. You have to have seen it. Like, it's too late. If you don't know, it's too late. Now. All right. So, anyway, Anna and Christine were having like this big feud, right?
Yeah.
And she was just like not because she was going to end Christine, which is like this weird threat. Their drama was bananas, but
it was very odd. I was like, was it forced? It might be a little too scripted. I don't know.
It was like watching. She was doing like the YouTube influencer crying. Christine was in that episode when they were like fighting. She's like, and she, like no real tears coming out, just like trying. Just like, it's not happening.
Oh God, it's so true.
Anyway, So Anna at the end of season 3 basically goes like, I don't even want to have this beef. It's so stupid. Like, I'm leaving, and flies to New York to party. And that's how season 3 of that show ends.
Oh.
Anyway, and so I thought there would be more of them, but so far we've only seen, let's talk about New York. Who's the favorite? Who's number 1 so far?
I really like Blake. I don't know why. Still trying to figure it out. I feel like he's not trying too hard. I feel like he's really just trying to be himself.
He's like the most normal person there.
I think, yes. And I think he's like just younger.
He's like,
maybe?
He's like what they wanted like Kevin to be on that show, but like he actually is. So? Yeah, because Kevin ends up being like very try hard, but he's supposed to be like relatable to the viewers. Like he's supposed to be like our stand-in show as like so I think Blake is meant to be like our psychological our way into their world.
Okay. That's funny because I thought Richard was supposed to be the Kevin of New York.
Yeah, maybe, but he's so fucking annoying.
Okay, so speaking of least favorite. Okay, sorry. My least favorite is not Richard. My least favorite is Dorothy. Sorry. I can't stand her. I can't stand her. The thing is, though, she's had a lot of good points about Richard, so I'm not going to knock on that. Like, there are some things that she was saying about Richard in terms of, like, transactional. Well, actually, Tina said transactional relationship, but she basically, like, called him out, and I kind of like that about her, in a way.
Speaking of Tina, I cannot believe that you said favorite character and then just went with Blake instead. Like, it should have been her. What is wrong with you?
Well, Okay. There's a history to that one, actually.
That was a curveball. I was like, Tina.
Yeah. That was a curveball because
I think
I worked in fashion.
Sorry to interrupt you, but I think that you just you think Blake is hot. That's what it is.
oh, well.
You think he's cute. He
is cute. He is cute, but I think he's young.
He's young.
I think he's young. I think he's like
Kit Connor.
Early 20s? Okay. Oh, God, not Kit Connor. Love Kit Connor. Not knocking Kit Connor.
He's great, but that was not appropriate. Anyway, move it.
Yeah. But also, I just like kind of the segment they did where Blake was trying to explain to Lynn's awful husband what, like, you don't just ask someone, are you gay? Like, you just don't.
Oh, yeah, that was.
You remember that episode?
Like, Gen Z response. He was like, what are you doing?
Yeah, and he was straight up boomer responses and questioning and, like, just really just being awful, I feel.
That was very interesting. Yeah, this is the first time also in this Bling Empire, like, I guess now it's a franchise, right? That they've had, like, an openly queer person on, which I thought, I guess I hadn't necessarily noticed with all the other bling they throw on the screen that, like, but it feels like a weird omission on my part too, that I should have clocked that there's not a queer Asian person on the show in LA. Yeah. Like, what is up? And I also commented, Steph Smith said, the miscommunication right at the very beginning was so unnecessary. I'm going to disagree with you. Dorothy was right. How are you going to throw a party and there is no food? Nothing?
Oh my God.
Not one chip?
That's funny.
No can of patties?
Okay, that I totally agree with. Totally agree. You can't offer drinks and not have food. That's it. Sorry. But showing up 2 hours late is a huge pet peeve of mine. Being late is no bueno.
I also hate being late.
I also understand though, like she was used to LA parties, and LA parties you just fucking show up whenever you feel like it. Yeah. And New York parties are just so structured in a way because I don't know why, but at least from my experience, it's just like.
Also, can I just comment that, like, everyone in Bling Empire, New York has, like, granny names? Deborah, Dorothy. Like, what is going on?
That's so true. Lynn? That's not too bad.
Lynn is not so bad.
Richard?
Richard. Tina and Blake are, like, the two normal names. Yeah. Everybody else is just... I don't get it. Sense. They're such old names. They're like 20s, 30s, 50s. I don't know. Back
then. Back to why I didn't say Tina first, though. Yeah. So,
I need to know.
I worked in the fashion world. I knew about Tina Leung before. Oh. Like, I've known her. And when I saw that she was on the show, I automatically, like, this is like a bunch of internalized crap that, okay, she has my name. She's probably better than me in life and whatever. I'm like, I already feel sad, number one there. And then another thing I noticed was that I knew she was a fashion influencer. I've seen her work. She hangs out with a bunch of people that I follow, and designers of the fashion world that I like as well. And I'm like partly jealous, obviously, because her life is kind of what I wanted my career to be when I was in fashion school. And seeing that she's doing it and I'm not kind of feels crappy. But again, I'm projecting, right? These are all feelings.
It's too similar. Yeah. It's too close.
Everything was just coming at me. Yeah. And which is why I didn't really like her when I first saw her in the fashion scene. And then I saw that she was on the show and I was like, oh, she's going to be a bitch, right? Without even knowing anything about her. So I already am feeling like a bad person for feeling these things. No. So just a lot of
No, see, I had the same thing happen with Priyanka Chopra. Man,
yes, I get
Jonas brother. We thought that was impossible, beyond impossible. Especially if you're Indian and her name is Priyanka and she married a Jonas brother. I was like, I gotta find me one. So I snagged a Joe Jonas.
Holy shit, I just realized that.
But I relate somewhat. I mean, mine is ridiculous because she's like a supermodel and there's no way. I did never wanted to be one. But, you know, I was just like, oh, now they're going to learn how to say, well, they still don't say my name right. They say Priyanka, but it's fine. But
oh no,
at least they recognize my name. I can be like you know, like Quantico. Everyone's like, oh yeah, or like, you know, like Nick Jonas's girl. They're like, okay.
oh my god.
So she helped me out, I guess, a little bit, but she's also very cringe and embarrassing. So I don't. At least you don't have that problem with Tina.
No,
because it's not like a cringy, embarrassing celebrity.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. She seems pretty decent in the show, but you know, I don't really know her that well. But
she was also late to her front row thing. Something
she was. That was heartbreaking. I kind of felt that when she was crying in the car, like realizing that this could have ruined her career. That's something I think about all the time.
But you would have to be late, and therefore you were already better than her. So
true. that is true. But I wasn't wearing Chanel shoes, so.
I know they kept cutting to the shoes. Like I was like, what? Did she like buy them or something? Like are we supposed to?
She was given them by Chanel to wear to the show. Like some of these fashion influencers, they get paid. Like they get given clothes to show up in these shows to be photographed, which would generate hype for those items. It's like a whole, you know, influencer type, influencer stuff.
Yeah, I wouldn't know anything about that.
Those are like real influencer stuff. But like after seeing her on the show though, I started to realize, I was like, okay, she's more like me than I thought in terms of the feeling stuff.
Yeah.
And like I feel like I was like, am I looking at myself right now?
Yeah.
Her crying about like not going to that show and it's gonna ruin her career and she's never gonna get a job again. Like those are things that I've thought about.
Yeah, I felt
and
when she was talking about like the loneliness of what she's doing and like her siblings.
Not seeing her sisters.
I thought that was so unnecessarily. Like, that's why I struggle with shows like Bling Empire. So they'll tell us like all this dumb, petty shit, like Dora and Deborah's like beef, right? Which is like so stupid.
Yeah.
But then they'll tell us like real shit like this, where you're just like, your heart breaks for them, and it's so sad and so like legitimate and real, and it's like it just feels. It's sometimes so jarring to watch that along. Yeah. You're just like, this is like such a real and like important problem to talk about. And then you want me to also care about some stupid rich person that I will like never experience in my lifetime. And maybe like less than 1% of people would care about, like, you know, painting and do get it.
Yeah.
You want me to care about like their stupid little, you didn't come to my party on time. You know.
Yeah. It's like, almost like a comic relief, I feel.
Yeah.
I feel like shows like this is like a form of comic relief for life. You know?
I think I do enjoy like watching them work out their dumb little problems, because usually like the real, like the silly made up ones, they never come to a real resolution. They're just like stop talking to each other or something. But like the real stuff, you can see somebody potentially like grow then, which is also strangely fun. to watch. You're
Mm-hmm.
like Tina.
Mm-hmm.
Or I honestly even thought that about, I hate to say this, but like the OG Bling Empire, I felt like you witnessed a real growth in Kevin. And I was just like, I hate this. It's just, he's such a douche sometimes.
Yeah.
He's
But
such
I feel like he's the nicest of them, though. At least he's genuine. He understands struggle.
He's the nicest, but he was so weirdly like thirsty on the show with like the girls.
True.
And it was like, you know, it was just uncomfortable to watch because he really couldn't get a clue. Like he just had this like, it was almost like he suddenly had like no like emotion, like no EQ, like suddenly
self-awareness.
Yeah, like he suddenly only with the girl, only when he was flirting with them. Like when
that's true.
He had,
but isn't that all
he was
guys?
Friends with, he was maybe they were married.
Well,
you have to leave.
Yes, my brother-in-law's leaving, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, go do that. But
yeah.
I think we talked about everything we want to talk about anyway.
That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. This is great.
Yeah. First episode.
A hug from here, from Tina.
Yeah.
Thank you to everyone that showed up and watched and laughed, hopefully, with us. And let us know again, you know, should this be more permanent? Maybe should we put a little, maybe like 2% more effort and like edit it?
Yeah.
But I love chatting with you.
Yeah.
This was a wonderful way to look at everything between these two skeins.
Yeah.
I miss you. Come back soon.
Yes, I will. I'll see you soon.
All right.
Bye.